Good evening. Welcome to my podcast, talking about everything and all about nothing. I was having a wonderful evening talking to my kids and talking to different friends, and I was thinking about, I didn't know what I wanted to name my podcast tonight, and I was just having the hardest time. But I've been getting great ideas from different people and great ideas. What should I talk about? What should you talk about on your podcast, Dana? What should you talk about? What you want to talk about on your podcast? And tonight I had this idea. I had seen this episode. I have never heard of this girl. Her name was Candace Owens. So I did a whole bunch of research and see what Candace Owens was all about. She's a right winger. She's a Donald Trump supporter. And I was like, well, I give everybody a chance before I chime in. Like I said, I had never heard of her. So in my mind, she's not that important or significant to me to find out. But one of my other friends said, you just got to hear the saying she said that come out her mouth. So I had read on her report. And then I went and listened to some of the interviews and things she did. This child, because I am old enough to be her mother, thinks that we still in slavery. And some people think that is true. So what she's saying ain't all wrong and ain't all right, but it's our fault. How did she get that conclusion? And police brutality is a myth, and welfare and food stamps is to keep black people down. No, I don't need to comment on the things that come out of her mouth, because I'm pretty sure there's 900 other people telling her, what are you saying sounds foolish. But long as someone's giving her these paychecks, because she paid for these interviews. These ain't no free interviews. These ain't no free interviews. Now, whatever, just because she's black or a woman of color doesn't mean she ain't going to take this money, because she is. I'm pretty sure there's women that did way worse to get that dollar bill, y'all. And the only difference is she willing to humiliate herself, because people think she might be brainwashed. I don't think she is, because she tries to speak articulate. She tries to sound educated. She tries to be humble when she's not. That's what we love from the people in the South love to say. A wolf in sheep's clothing, a snake in the grass. But see, she got her head up. You can see her coming. Now, my husband said something today that threw me for a loop. And I said, Marcus, you can't be mad because she truly believed this. He said, yeah, that might be true. But she couldn't come to these back towns in South Carolina and think just because she a Trump supporter, they don't care about that. They care about your skin color. Till 2020, we spend a time where they still care about your skin color. Now, like I said, people always talking about, oh, you can have an opinion. Yeah, you can have one because everybody got one. They're like a-holes. Everybody got one. Don't make them smell good. I'll tell you that right now. And the fact that she sounds like she truly believes the stuff that come out her mouth, there is nothing no one can do to change her mind. And like I said, I wish I never even heard her. And now that I have, I can't take it back. I can't erase the thoughts. I can't unhear her voice. Because it makes me sad, because I was born in the 70s. I grew up late 70s, early 80s. I remember going to stores where we got our school clothes, but we came in through the back door. That don't mean we couldn't come in the store, but we knew we weren't coming in through the front door. I knew there was restaurants that we could go eat at the window, order your food at the window, which now we call them drive-thrus, but back then that was the only place you could get your food. And you could walk up and order your food, but you knew you couldn't go inside. I grew up in the 80s where we were in a segregated high school, but the blacks knew where they supposed to be and the whites knew where they were supposed to be. I also grew up in the 90s where I watched a man being beat to death over a car chase. I also grew up in an era where they only had assumed that you needed was athletic skills, playing basketball, football. You weren't going. That's the only way you were going to go to college. And that was driven in our heads. And girls, you did home ec or you played t-ball or softball. I liked it football. Thank you, Coach White, because you allowed me to play one half a season. I'm not even mad about that. But then I had a female coach told me, you shouldn't be out there on the field. Why not? I'm good. Then I grew up in the late 90s and I graduated high school and I went off in the world and I'm still not fat, but a plump, dark-skinned, naturally nappy-head woman. And people looked at me like I stole something when I walked in the room. I just got to the party. Nothing has been taken yet. I also remember when I had my son and I was in Piggly Wiggly and this white lady looking at me like, oh, he's so beautiful, but how is he so light-skinned? I remember that. And I'm not that old. I remember growing up, walking down dirt roads. I remember working in the fields, working in tobacco, cucumbers, blueberries. I remember traveling in the summertime and we stopped off in this town and my uncle told me, do not get out the car. I had to pee. Do not get out the car. I'll take you to the next town over. When we got back in the car, he said, it wasn't enough for us to stop here. That shouldn't be. But it was our fault because we were born black. I don't understand. Because everybody else, they love to say we immigrants. I can't know no one who was brought here in shackles are considered immigrants. I don't remember no person voluntarily hopping on a boat be like, you know what? I want to see where they're going. We didn't voluntarily do that. I don't remember nobody growing up be like, you know what? I would love to work in that tobacco field. Pretty sure we didn't do that. Or make this rice. Or dig these ditches. Or cause this crime of simply bumping up against a white person and we to be arrested just because they say so. I'm not going to make this talk about race tonight. That's what I end up doing anyway. So I'm going to tell Candace Owens, thank you, ma'am. But you got to understand, with entitlement, and the things you come out, there's always karma in life. And one day you're going to realize you're not just a white right-winger and you're not just a Republican. You're still a black female in the United States. And better yet, you're a female, period. So if you think your life is super easy because you chose to go over here, you best believe just because you're in the room with them, they looking at you and smiling, but you step out and go to the bathroom and lean back, I bet you they're talking about you. We got her. Maybe she'll calm those people down. No, because we're not foolish neither. We're not stupid. We're not dumb. We're people. And that's all we want to be, is people. We want to be treated as people. We don't want you to treat our dogs better than you treat us. Can we all be treated as people? We don't want you to treat our women as second-class citizens. We want to be treated as people. We all want to live the American dream. Sometimes your dream ain't like my dream. You may want the big house and the Poconos and the fancy car. And all I might want to do is come home and put my feet up, rub my dog, and talk to my husband. But we still dreamers. All of us. And I hope no one loses their dream by listening to you, thinking that is what life should be. Is that what I want to strive to be? Because in the end, you get paid to say these things. I live free by just dreaming them on my own. Now, with that said, I am done for the night. And of course, let's talk about anything. I'm finna go cook some chicken marsala. It is beautifully, fragrantly. My daughter came home, washed my chicken thighs, and she sprinkled them up with salt and pepper and garlic powder and made sure they was clean. And I'm going to go make some marsala sauce with onions and green peppers. I wish I had some red, but I don't have any. Yuck. And when it cooks down, it's going to be tangy and sweet and spicy and just real fragrant. And you lay that over a bed of white rice. Jesus. Woo-hoo. Come with it. So that's what I'm finna go do. I'm finna go cook. And I'm definitely going to pick up a book and read. Oh, that's another thing. I want everybody who listens to my podcast to do me one favor. Put your phones down. Cut off the TV. Pick up a book, a newspaper, a magazine, and read and exercise your brain. I'm challenging everybody to listen to my podcast to read at least 4 pages in any book. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's the phone book or Playboy. I don't care what it is. Read something. Stimulate your mind. So you don't let stuff come in and be like, oh my God, that sounds like it might be true. I'm going on Google to find out what it is. Nah, pick up a book. Pick up a newspaper. Read it. Or go on Reddit. They'll read it for you. I'm just saying. And with that, this is Dana Leggett. This is my podcast. Talk about everything and all about nothing. And I'd like to tell you thank you for listening and have a good night. Good night.